2 weeks ago, our last show, we talked about Royce Gracie coming out of retirement and fighting Ken Shamrock. That's a big deal. The other big fight that night for Bellator in Houston, Texas, is going to be a very interesting grudge match, a very unique grudge match. It's going to be Dada 5000 against the one and only Kimbo Slice. And Kimbo Slice was on our show around a month and a half or so ago, one of our favorite guests. It was our 300th episode, and he was kind enough to join us, but we didn't know about this fight happening. So we had to get him back on to talk about it all. And this time there's a twist. This time we're being joined by his longtime manager and friend, Mike Imber, who has been very kind to me over the years. So I'm very happy that he's on the phone as well. They're both joining us on the phone right now. Kimbo, Mike, are you there?
We're here. Hey, what's up, my man?
What's up, guys? It's great to have you on the program. Thank you very much for the time. So, Kimbo, let me start with you. A lot of people, everyone in MMA, interactive MMA, knows who you are. You are synonymous with the sport. You are a face of the sport. But when they announced this particular fight, they were like, who's Dada 5000? A lot of MMA fans didn't know who he was because they don't know. And he's had a couple fights, but they don't know about his background. Is this different from all your fights because of the background? I want you to get into it in a second, but does this one feel different? Is it more personal than even the Ken Shamrock fight or any of the others?
Yeah, Ariel, man, this fight is real personal. Because I know this fuck nigga, man, This cat know me. We know each other very well. So for him to be running his mouth like he's running his mouth, the shit makes it personal.
Okay, so explain to us why. Why is it so personal? Tell us the background.
For the nature of things, Ariel, man, first of all, we went to school together. Just to rough it up, we went to school together. We grew up in the same fucking neighborhood. So this nigga know me. He knows a great deal about me. He knows I'm a type of person that grew up in our neighborhood as being a fighter. I'm a type of nigga that will put the hands on you. You know what I'm saying? So he knows that much about me. He ain't that type of nigga. He didn't grow up like I grew up. Even though we're from the same neighborhood, this fuck nigga know what type of nigga I am, even to this day. So for him to be running his mouth the way he's running his mouth, Ariel, he's just made this shit super personal. Super personal.
Mike, let me ask you, I can hear it in his voice. You're there with Kimbo. You know him better than anyone. Have you ever felt him this way? Have you ever thought that have you ever seen him, I should say, this way before a fight, any kind of fight?
No, actually, no, I haven't. And at the same time, I've never really wanted to do an interview with him like this. But, he's had over 20 pro fights, and this is the first one I'm really doing with him. And it's really just to clarify a few things. We actually had all went to high school together. And, when Kimbo finally got, his chance and he ended up going to fight pro, it was his decision, along with one of our good friends who passed away, Big Sean, to, bring on a few of our buddies to ride with us. He wasn't a bodyguard. Kimbo didn't need a fucking bodyguard. We just brought some of our old people from the neighborhood with us.
What is ride? When I fought against Ray Mercer with Cage Fury back in the days.
Okay.
So what really ended up happening was, and Dada obviously had some size to him. He wanted, to get involved in it. And we actually let one of Kimbo's trainers at the time, Randy Katami, hold pads for him. And all he did was shake his head like, I'm not going to waste my time with him. So, but at the same time, Dada, he really wanted to give it a shot. And at the time, it wasn't about getting him a pro fight. He was, just going to do one of these backyard fights. And what ended up happening was we were in Vegas for a convention. He was with us, and we set up a fight for him there. The day of the fight, he came walking into our hotel room and was like rolling his ankle around and said his ankle didn't feel good and he didn't want to do it. And he had to back out. And obviously that didn't sit well. These people that were in Vegas, they weren't the type of people to back out from. And, we let it go. We got back home and we actually let him do one of these fights, which was the clip that you saw that, I don't know, maybe he thought was buried somewhere. It's never been seen, and I shared it with you because one of his big things was that we were afraid he was going to take Kimbo's shine from him. Well, if you share that video with your viewers and yourself and whoever else, I think it speaks for itself. It wasn't, it didn't seem like there was anything there. So what ended up happening, he supposedly, got better and he wanted to have another fight. And we set up this fight with this guy out of Goulds named Telly Sessions. Goulds is, like a neighborhood like Perrine. And this guy, Telly Sessions, was known to be a nasty brother with some mean hands. And we set up this fight. And the day of the fight, guess what? Dada no-shows. Doesn't come. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with somebody else from our neighborhood, this guy Level. He's had a couple pro fights. He actually fought Mayorga and beat him in an MMA fight.
Uh-huh.
Well, Level fights at middleweight, or maybe even less than middleweight. But he's a true G. And that day, Telly Sessions was there expecting to fight, and Level went and fought him. He was giving up probably 60 pounds, fought like a 12-minute war, and beat him. But he took that fight because Dada no-showed again. And part of this recurring theme is, the people that are around Dada now, all they know is what he's told them. They've drank his Kool-Aid just like he's drinking his own Kool-Aid. He's never been a fighter. You can tell by the two real MMA, the pro matches he had, how he looks in the cage. But I'll give credit where it's due, and he's a decent promoter, that he was able to get himself out there. And I guess he's an okay referee, but he is a decent promoter. And one thing that he did do was find himself a great filmmaker to expose what he was doing in the backyard in Billy Corbin, who's, a very bright guy. And, like I said, he's a brilliant filmmaker. However, he didn't do his due diligence. Because if he would have tried to talk to either myself or Kimbo together, we would have let him know what he was dealing with. He didn't really fact check, and he, Dada claims he's like a street fighting legend or something. He claims he's 38-0. He's never had more than 2 fights in the backyard. And if he's had any more than 2 fights, where are they at?
Where's
it at? It's nowhere. Who's even said they've seen it? You can check our story. You could ask Level Martinez. He's the one that stood up and fought Telly that day. This guy wasn't even anywhere in the neighborhood. So, yeah, this makes it personal because, in that documentary, they try to make it seem that we were afraid that he was going to take something away from Kimbo. They don't even know us. We would love to have put people on. We're not afraid of anyone taking anything. But the fact of the matter is there was nothing to take because he didn't have shit. So we didn't even want him part of our team because he couldn't fucking fight. And when he backed out of the second fight, we really wanted nothing to do with him. And that's the true story why we parted ways. It wasn't on his end. It was on our end. We don't let fake people be around us. And that's exactly what he is. He shouldn't be fighting anymore. He should be reffing fights or promoting his little backyard league that he's trying to do.
So, Kimbo, with that in mind,
really
and I appreciate that because obviously the story that I've read countless times now is that he was security guard and decided to go his own way, and that I've read that you guys were kind of upset about that, and that created this rift. Kimbo, with that all in mind, were you in favor of this fight when you were approached by Scott Coker and his team? Like, did you want to? Like I said, everyone knows who you are in the MMA world. A different group knows who he is, and maybe people who saw the documentary as well. But in our little world here, everyone knows who you are. So you're kind of bringing him along for the ride. You're propping him up. Did you want to open that can of worms on Spike and for Bellator?
Harry, I'm gonna be straight up with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Before we even got approached with this fight with this dude, you know what I'm saying? I was talking a lot of shit as well to on the street level. You know what I'm saying? The shit was getting back to me on the street level of things. I keep my ear to the streets. This fuck nigga do a lot of talking, man. And I don't like that. I don't appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where, I was going to come to this crib. This pussy nigga talking about, you know what I'm saying? He going to offer me a job. Fuck, nigga, you still live with your mama. Nigga, I done made 7 figures, bro. 4 times over. How the fuck you going to offer me a job, man? You know what I'm saying? And that's disrespect. Not only you done stole my fucking image, you done got my fucking tattoos, you say you from the Bahamas, man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when I got approached with this fight from Bellator, you know what I'm saying? It was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do this. You know, you don't even gotta ask me twice. I'll sign this shit right now. Let's get this shit out of the way now. Because I already owe this fuck nigga ass whooping. We was gonna go to this nigga crib, knock on his mama's door where he still lives at, and be like, nigga, let's run it. Let's run it now. You know what I'm saying? In your yard. Let's do it right here, right now. But the pussy nigga was never around. We had a homeboy that passed away. I went to the wake. When this nigga knew that I was at the wake, he didn't even show up to pay respects because I was there. You know what I'm saying? So, Dada, man, he really digging himself into a hole here, Ariel. You know, I don't really like to come off like this. You know, I never wanted, people to really see this angry side of me like this. And I'm gritting my teeth, but they gold, so I ain't got to worry about nothing. But, man, this pussy nigga's really trying me. And he's still running his mouth like a real fuck nigga. See, I'm responding to the bullshit accusations this man is coming with. I'm responding to it, Ariel. But you know me from in the future, from the past, bro. I'm never the one to really run my mouth to any other fighter. I just get in the ring and I'll try to knock your ass out. But this going to be a different fight. I'm grinding differently. I'm training differently. I want to shut this nigga up, break his jaw, like seriously focusing on breaking his jaw. Seriously focusing on breaking his ribs. I mean, goddamn. I wish the ref don't even be in the ring, and we don't really need one. He a ref. He gonna quit himself. Man, this shit is personal, bro. I mean, I get worked up talking about this dude, just for the nature of things, man. And, like I said, I never wanted people to, see this part of me like this here. Because I'm really getting twisted right now.
Hey, I want to just clarify one other thing, Ariel, while Kimbo
Please.
takes a little breather. He's ready to go see him. In their documentary that they did, they portrayed it that we actually went to his first pro fight, to support him. We went because our friend Ray Fuentes had his first pro fight that evening, and that's why we were there. We also witnessed that he was fighting a guy, meaning Dada, fought a guy who was 0-6, and they had to pull that grown man off of him in order to make it fair and for him to be able to win that fight. He fought a guy who never even won a fight, 0-6, and he couldn't hang in and handle his own. And then they gave him one other guy who was 1-10 after that. So he's had zero accomplishments in the cage, really even out of the cage, other than being a promoter. And he gets credit for being a decent promoter. And he's done a good job with that. But as a fighter, I think he really stepped the wrong way because, he's going to see an angry dude across from him.
So, Mike, as his longtime friend, like I said, you know Kimbo better than anyone. Is there any concern on your part? You see him right now. He's super fired up. He's never been like this before. That he's going to fight too emotionally in there? That he's going to stray away from what he needs to do to win this fight?
I mean, he's always been, in control of his own emotions, and I think he knows how to channel it in the right way, and he'll use them to his advantage. But, you can't help but have this be personal. And he rubbed him the wrong way. It's almost like, you see that movie, Single White Female?
Yes.
He's like the single black male. He literally got the same no fear tax, painted his nails black, grew his beard out. I mean, it's fucking weird is what it is. He can say whatever he wanted or wants. He didn't invent the beard. He didn't invent this. But the fact of the matter is the guy really got the same fucking tattoos. It's just weird. So I guess if somebody did that to me or you, you take it personally. So as worked up as he is right now, I think he's going to be fine come fight night. Just make him train a little harder and make him break that jaw a little more.
Kimbo, you were with him in Houston when they announced it. So I'm wondering, A, when's the last time you were actually in the same room as him? And B, what was that like for you? Was it hard for you to, not attack the guy considering how you feel about him?
No, Ariel, it ain't hard because, to be honest with you, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I am down to fight this motherfucker, bro, in or out of the ring at this point. You know what I'm saying? He just need to watch his fucking self. You know what I'm saying? Because that I know from the original, dog, I'm a street fighter, bro. I don't really need to be in the cage for this one here. I've made my change. I'm good. I'm blessed financially. Motherfucker, you need to watch your step. if we are ever in the same room because of Bellator put this here together here, he need to watch what he say. If he even look at me hard, I'm gonna hit him in his mouth. So so I ain't got nothing to worry about, man. I'm ready to run it with this nigga. Either way it goes. If he switch out fight night, the fight night February 19th, I'm gonna fucking still fight him. If he's still in Texas and he switch out, the fight gonna still go down. Either way it goes, this pussy nigga owe me this. He owe me this one here. You took 25 minutes out of your time and created me in a fucking video game, and he created himself, and he showed it. I mean, it was funny, dude. This man showed himself beating me up on a video game and recorded it on Instagram. I thought it was the funniest shit in the world, man. And I'm like, this is his dream fight in a video game. Okay, fine. So now we're going to make this shit personal. We're going to make this shit live. It's going to be real. Ariel, man, forgive me for not being able to answer you in the way you want me to, bro, but this the streets right here, baby. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is, he won a dog fight. This is what it is. Bellator, I thank God that they put this shit together, but people are going to get what they want to see. Me knocking this motherfucker out, man, and that's just the bottom line. And this fight can go however down I want it to go. We can wrestle this bitch. We can take it to the ground. I'm ready for whatever. But this man cannot see me in the hand game. You know what I'm saying? If he wanted, I want to do whatever. Whatever the fuck he want to do, I'm down with it. But I'm going to end this shit. I'm going to end his career. I'm going to wire his mouth up. He's going to be drinking out of a straw for like 3-4 months. And I guarantee you that I'm focusing on really shutting this dude up. Literally, I'm focusing on that.
No need to apologize. I definitely appreciate the passion. Mike, from your perspective, you know this game very well. Is it kind of a mistake to not have this fight in Miami? Because I feel like it would sell in a second if it was there.
Well, I mean, obviously it'd be great to have it in our backyard, but it's not our decision. It would have been phenomenal if it would have been at one of the Miami arenas. But Bellator's got their plans, and we're just going along with it. But Kimbo's always got a lot of love in Texas, so it's all good to do it there.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of what he's done, what Dada has done as far as his quote unquote empire? I mean, do you feel like he's just if there was no Kimbo Slice, would there even be?
Wait a minute. You can't call it an empire.
Okay.
He's.
I apologize.
If anything, Billy Corbin's the big winner because he's the one that exposed what this guy, what he was doing. So. He put together a great doc. It's just unfortunate that, it was misleading in the fact that, because some people thought Kimbo had something to do with that documentary. He had nothing to do with it. They never even contacted us. Kimbo's documentary is called The Truth, and that's going to air on Spike before this fight sometime in February.
Oh, okay.
But you didn't say something maybe about 15 minutes ago about, or you open up a can of worms by giving him the exposure.
Yeah.
And you know what? It is kind of bittersweet by putting him, giving him that exposure that he never would have got. But it's going to expose him in a nasty way because, he is going to get either knocked out or something bad's going to happen to him. Maybe a lot of other people deserve the fight, and there's a lot of other people out there that Bellator has that we could fight, but this was an option. Kimbo obviously really wanted it, and, that's what we're going to make happen.
Kimbo, what was up from your perspective with him holding, I think he was holding a sledgehammer? What was he trying to say by coming out with that and on the poster as well?
He's going back to work.
I did a video shoot one time before where I had the sledgehammer with the Elite C, and I had the sledgehammer with some chains. And just to see this, again, this fuck nigga with the same sledgehammer, and it just really irks me, man, how this guy literally just takes the time and look over my shit. And then, because all my shit is on the Kimbo305.com site. You'll see, a lot of things that I've done. And it's like this guy just goes on there and literally tries to take whichever one he feels like he wants to do, and he copied the style. So it really bothered me because, when we did the video shoot, there was a lot of shit laying around. And I just grabbed the sledgehammer and I grabbed a chain and I wrapped it around my fist. So I like that look, the sledgehammer in one hand and the chain in another hand, you know, and we started taking pictures that way. And then to see him with the sledgehammer, I said, this motherfucker. I said, God damn it, I'm just getting sick of this guy. Every time I turn around, I'm seeing something that this guy's stealing in my style. So it's just fucking with me. Little shit is just fucking with me.
Mike, were you there in Houston?
Am I going to be there?
No. Were you there in Houston when they made the announcement?
Oh, I was there, yes.
What was it like for you?
Wait, actually, no. They made the announcement in San Jose.
My mistake. Yes. No, actually.
Wait, or St. Louis.
St. Louis.
My bad, St. Louis.
My bad. Yeah. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. Hey, I'm as emotional as he is, just because, like, look, we all went to high school together. I know what kind of person Ferg was in high school. I know what kind of person Dada was. And, you know, Ferg thought he was doing him a favor by bringing him around when he had his first pro fight. And he went and he did his thing. If he just would have kept his mouth shut and just played referee and promoter, it probably would have been all right, and we would have supported him. But it's the fact that he really, he's pressed the issue, and now he's got it. So I feel every inch of what Kimbo feels, other than he didn't put my tattoos on his body. He didn't put my beard or whatever. He took all these personal things from him and put it on himself. So, I mean, I get it. And, it's going to be interesting.
So Kimbo, during your time away from the sport, I know you dabbled a little bit of boxing. Did anyone try to make this fight before, even maybe not in an actual MMA cage or ring? I mean, how close were you guys to fighting in the past, in the backyard or not?
Yeah,
let me answer that. World Series of Fighting actually tried to make the fight.
Okay.
And Dada priced himself too far out because he knew they weren't going to pay it. So he acted like he was interested, but he never took it. And so, yeah, they did try to make that happen. That was before Kimbo was signed with Bellator. And that was a fight we wanted, but, he priced himself too far out, so they wouldn't pay it.
Do you have similar friends right now, Kimbo? And is he trying to recruit people from your team, or did he ever try? Is it at all awkward like that between you two?
Anybody that rides with him from Pauline is choosing the wrong fucking horse. They're not the real people from down there if they're riding with him. And, that's their mistake. And if that's what they want to do, neither one of us give a fuck.
That's true. And I couldn't say that better, but Ariel, real talk though, man. Everybody from our neck of the woods, everybody from down south, man, from Ryan, Richmond Heights, Goose, South Miami Heights, Cutler Ridge, Cutler Manor, you know what I'm saying, Homestead, everybody down on that end, just Dade County period in general, Liberty City, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Lincoln Field, everybody from down on our end, they know what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they fucked with him a little bit because he, started doing, in the backyard thing a little bit after we stopped. So he gave a little bit more entertainment to the people in the hood, and they kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? But now, do they, on this level here, between me and this nigga here, do they fully support him? Oh, I don't think so, Ariel. I don't think they're going to ride with this fuck nigga. Because they know he's phony. You know what I'm saying? Now, he may have some people in his corner, you know what I'm saying, that tooting his horn a little bit. Like I said, he's drinking his own Kool-Aid, and he got them people drinking his shit too. But the real motherfuckers from Paran, the real people from down south, the real true-hearted people from down south, and our neck of the woods, Ariel, they know what's up. They're going to listen to your shit. They're going to listen to the show. They know what's up already, man. So this is why this is going to be probably one of the most viewed, watched fight. You know what I'm saying? The highest ratings, one of the highest ratings Spike TV is going to get. Because a lot of people from that area, I'm talking about an entire state. You know what I'm saying? Almost an entire state in a few cities, over 10, 15 cities, who may not be able to make it to Texas. Everybody's going to be tuning in. It won't even be no crimes committed in the streets of Florida that night of the 19th of February. People going to all be tuned in, watching me knock this fuck nigga out.
How far do you guys live from each other? Do you see him often when you're out and about?
Ariel, I'm a 7-figure nigga, Ariel. I've moved up, baby. I'm out there with the white folks now, man. You know what I'm saying? This nigga still living with his mama. We don't live close to each other right now. But I know where he stays. He's still living in my old neighborhood.
Do you have any idea where he'll be training for the fight?
From what I read, he's training in his backyard.
Oh.
I'm training in my backyard too, area.
Just at ATT.
That's right.
Have you started training yet?
Yeah, man, mentally, I've been training from when this fight was signed mentally. But yes, I've been training. I've been moving it a little bit around until it's time to get into crunch time. So I don't burn myself out, so I don't start peaking. But yeah, I'm training right now.
And I know you, like you said, you've been thinking about this fight for a long time. Have you envisioned the way it's going down? Do you already see how this whole thing is going to unfold on the 19th of February?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it all. I'm a little afraid. I'm afraid that if this happens and I get knocked out, that I might commit suicide. I'm afraid of a lot of things, because every fighter has a fighting chance is a punch away from a win. So with that alone, I take every fight respectfully, and I come in smart, I come in sharp, keep my D tight, keep that chin tucked. I'm a smarter fighter. I'm a stronger fighter. I got more heart than Dada. My balls is bigger than his. Dada is not whooping me in this fight. There's nothing he can do in this fight that's going to hurt me or move me.
So there's nothing that he does that.
This fight quite a few times.
Nothing about his game that you've seen. I mean, from limited footage that concerns you at all.
Ariel, I fought some of the best.
Yeah.
And I'm a very confident fighter. And when my mind and my heart and my spirit are all in the same accord, I'm a force to be reckoned with within my own rights. Sometimes I fear myself, and I just got to take a breather from time to time and gather myself, because I get too worked up from it. So between now and then, I'll be, I'm gonna be all right. But right now, I'm so fucking hot, man. It's just really touching right now.
Mike, how do you keep Kimbo focused here and not let him get too crazy? Or do you not even try?
He'll be all right.
You'll be all right?
Oh, man, he'll be fine. He don't need me for that.
All right.
Yeah, but, hey,
Sure I do.
We need each other, but he's going to be just fine.
What do you think this does ratings-wise, Mike?
Well, we are, obviously Royce and Ken are on the same night. So I think with that combo, it should at least do what Kimbo Shamrock did. Obviously Dada brings nothing to the table promotionally wise with his name. So it'll be Kimbo, Royce, and Ken bringing the viewers. But I say at least does par what the last one did.
Okay. And Kimbo, two last things for you, if I can. What happened 2 weekends ago in Melbourne with Ronda Rousey actually reminded me of you, because the reaction to her knockout, everyone jumped on her and sent a lot of hate her way. And it kind of reminded me of how everyone was kind of celebrating to a degree when you suffered your setback against Seth Petrozelli. And I know you guys are different kind of athletes and everything, but if there's anything that you could say to Ronda at this point, I don't know if you saw that clip of her on TMZ, covering her face and obviously very embarrassed by the whole situation and how she looks. What would you say to her?
Yeah, Ronda, don't feel bad, baby. We win some, we lose some, and that's just part of it. We never, go into a fight expecting to lose. No one never goes in a fight expecting to lose. But you just got to know, if it does happen, you got to keep your head up anyways. But in your fights, you just keep your chin down and your guards up. But after the shit is over with, just keep your head up. You from that loss, you gain a victory, because then you find out who the true people were in your corner. The true people who were around you will be there, and they will know how to communicate with you, rather than being on a wimpy wagon like, oh, it's going to be okay and everything's fine. See, that's the type of shit a true champion do not want to hear. When you're a successor, you don't want to hear that type of shit. So the true people would know how to communicate with you, even through that little setback. And that's all it is, Ronda. It's just a minor setback. You'll be fine, baby.
And if Dada 5000 is listening to this, DeFear Harris, what's the message to him?
Dada, I'm going to beat your motherfucking ass, man. You already know it. Fuck, nigga. I'm gonna break your shit up.
Anything you want to add, Mike?
Did you watch the video I sent you?
I did. We played it. We were playing it while you guys were talking.
Oh, all right, cool. I just wanted, the world to know it wasn't about hiding some brutal video that he had. He looked like fucking shit in that video. And we don't have any room for that in our camp. And that's why we parted ways, because he backed out of the fight after it. So, I just wanted to back up what we were saying. And I think that video speaks for itself.
Well, guys, I appreciate the time. I appreciate, how passionate you are about this, and looking forward to it. February 19th just got a whole lot more interesting. Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000, a very personal fight. Thank you for coming on this particular show to clear the air as best as possible. And Kimbo, always a pleasure. Mike, great to have you on. It was fun to interview you for the first time here. Much respect to you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having both of us, man. It's much appreciated.
My pleasure. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
There they are. Kimbo Slice and his longtime manager and friend, as you heard, went to high school together, Mike Ember, stopping by to clear the air on the simmering feud between him and Dada 5000. Would love to have Dada on the show as well. Would have made it a little tricky at the same time, but we don't want another Dwayne Ludwig situation, if you know what I'm saying. Would love to have his side. He's done a few more interviews I've seen. Kimbo's done a few, but now that they got their side out, only fair, of course. So interesting stuff there. That's the two big fights on February 19th, and I'm super curious to see what kind of ratings that does on Spike TV. Royce Gracie versus Ken Shamrock, and then Kimbo versus Dada 5000. It's interesting to get his perspective, the same way that I asked Carlos Condit. He knows from a different POV about the vitriol a pro athlete. I mean, anyone who steps into a freaking cage, for an MMA fight, forget about athletes who rise to the occasion and compete on the biggest stage possible in basketball, baseball, football, hockey. They deserve a lot of respect as well. And I know they get paid for it, but there's a lot on the line. There's a lot of pressure on their shoulders. And in my opinion, even more so when it's, hand-to-hand combat. For Ronda, whether you love her or hate her, to receive the backlash that has come her way over the last week or so is unfair. And because of what she's done for everyone, for me as media, for what she's done for her fellow fighters. I mean, she raised the game. That's a pioneer. That's a trailblazer. None of that changes. And you could be a fan. I mean, Carlos said it perfectly. Just look at what Holly Holm is saying. Just look at how she's reacting to it all. You know what I mean? I mean, it reminds me a lot of the Rampage Jackson Chuck Liddell fight. Chuck turned the corner. He was on ESPN The Magazine. He was on Entourage. And then he gets knocked out. And everyone jumps off and says, oh, he's a fraud, he's a phony. And this is times a million. But just pay attention to how Holly is dealing with all of this. You could be a fan of hers, but to celebrate one's demise is just a bad look, in my opinion. She got exposed. She was thoroughly dominated. She was beat up. It was a master class, but a little class would be nice. Maybe it's asking for a lot.